Hey everybody and welcome back. It is time to look at some pennies. And again, we found a lot of pennies in those customer rolls. I'm going to take a quick scan of these to give you guys an example of what we found, and then I'm going to go through some more interesting ones on the scope, but let's take a look real fast. So, we got some Canadian coins. 4 of them, including one of them that's pretty old. I think it's a 62? 1963. Then we got some older ones here that are kind of mid-state, red to red-brown. Some of them are AU or less, but some of them could be possible double dyes, so I want to scope those anyways to see if they are. Some really good-looking coins there, though. Whole bunch of 2009s to look at for double dyes, and of course it's 2009, so we're going to keep them anyways. And actually, they're in really good shape. Really good shape. I mean, every single one of those is mint state red brown at least. Most of them are mint state red. So, bunch of wheat pennies. We'll take a look at those under the scope. Some 1982 zinc, large state Denver strikes, mint state red. And these are just some basic mint states here that I'm going to take a look at to see how they are. These could be possible errors. Okay, and then some really good looking coins there. Take a look at them and see if they're worth keeping. And then, that's not even like the half of it, literally. We found all of this. Got a partial tube of assorted mint states over there on the right, as you can see. Got almost a full tube of 82 Denver large date coppers. 2 full tubes plus a partial tube of 1980D mint state. Those are all mint state red, brown, or better. I mean, most of them are mint state red. And then we got a tube plus a partial of 81 Denver mint states. Again, all red, brown, or better. Most of them, again, are red. So we're going to take a better look at the ones that I have out here on the tray. But obviously this has to be some sort of a collection dump. Somebody been holding on to rolls for a while, decided to open them up, go through them, and get rid of the ones that they didn't think were worth it. Which is funny because being a coin collector such as myself and Keith, this is a gold mine. And who knows what they might have missed. There could be errors in there. There could be clashes. There could be all kinds of things that they didn't notice because they might not have scoped them and might have just looked at them with a loupe, or maybe they were just, going through them. Maybe someone's grandfather, uncle, aunt, grandmother passed away. They've been holding on to these suckers for forever, and they didn't see a value in them, so they turned them in, threw them in the Coinstar, took them to the bank. Who knows? But anyways, gonna go ahead and scope some of these real quick for you guys, see if there's anything even cooler, and I will be right back with you. Alright guys, let's go ahead and scope some of the stuff that we found. First off, we got a 1972 Denver. Lower mint state range, maybe AU, but definitely red-brown. Decent amount of mint luster left over. Nothing spectacular about it, however, we did keep this one because it has a die crack between the C and the E in cent. Right there. Not much of a die crack, but it's there. And then we had a 1974. Almost looks like it's been polished or cleaned in some way. It's super bright. I don't think it has been, though. It's got some suspect toning, though, so I would say that maybe, just maybe, it had been dipped in something at some point. But it's in decent shape. And has a little bit of damage on the reverse, but kept this one because it has some strike doubling. And you can see strike doubling right there on the bottom of the Lincoln Memorial on the right hand side at the FG there. And then you can also see it in every letter in cent to the right. And then there's also a little bit of it inside of the Lincoln Memorial. Or actually the outside, I should say, to the right side. A little bit up here and up here. And then there is also some strike doubling in the A and the M in America. And you can see some there in the A in States. A little bit of the D, the E, and the T in United. But it's kind of cool. It's definitely strike doubling. Unfortunately, it's not a double die reverse, but it's kind of cool, kind of different. Then we have a 1960 D large date, and I'm actually showing you this in comparison because we did find a 1960 D small date. I'm going to see if I can kind of put these side by side. I'll have to put this one upside down so that you can kind of see. But the easiest way for me to tell is the shape of the 0 in the 60. That to me is the most obvious way to see if it's a small date or a large date. And it's kind of neat because the 1960D small date is red-brown. Also has a little bit of a filled die there in the E and the R in Liberty. But all in all, it's kind of a cool coin. And it's not very often that you find a 1960 or 1960D small date in circulation at all. Total, the mint struck for Denver, they struck 1,580,884,000 cents. And they have no idea how many of them were small date and large date. So somewhere in there, a small portion of those were the small date. Then we'll get on to our wheat cents. Got a 1957D, and unfortunately this coin is in terrible condition. But as you can see there's a little bit of filled die in the 5. And there is also a little bit of a die cut to the left of the E in Liberty. $1957D, of course, super common. Even the errors and filled dies and die cuts and things like that are fairly common, but it's an anomaly. The problem with this coin is when you flip it over, because it was ran over in the street at some point. Could have been 40 or 50 or more years ago, but it's basically destroyed. Sad. Don't even like to look at it. $1955. Common circulated wheat penny. But a wheat penny nonetheless. $1953 plain. Damage there, unfortunately, at the Liberty and behind Lincoln's ear. But there's also what appears to be like a little bit of a filled die or maybe a die crack right about here. And a little bit up here. And unfortunately, it's got a little bit of damage from circulation on it, so it's kind of hard to tell if it was a die crack or what exactly it was. My assumption is it was probably a really thick die crack. But still an error. Then we've got a nasty looking 46 San Francisco. Looks like this might have been found in the ground by a metal detectorist. Lots of environmental damage on that one. It was in the ground for quite a while. But we'll give it a home. Then we've got a 1944 plane. A little bit of damage there, coming off the bottom of the Y in Liberty. And then it gets much more interesting. 1930 Philadelphia strike. And for a 1930 coin, I'd have to say not in bad shape. Especially for something pulled out of a roll. A little bit of damage there, coming from his face down through his collar. But as far as cents go, this is a little bit of a rarer one. 157,415,000 of those were struck in 1930 in the Philadelphia Mint. And we just happened to find one in a roll. Awesome. This had to be somebody's collection of some sort. And then, to top it off, 1916 Denver. 103-year-old coin found in a roll. And I mean, we've found older ones, but anytime you find that, that's crazy. And then that one had a mintage of 35,956,000, I believe. Worn, but not damaged, really. A little bit of, a few nicks here and there, but not bad at all. All right. And then I went through all of the 2009s that we found. Didn't find any double dyes, but of course they're all mint state red to red brown, so definitely going to keep those because again, they're 2009s. Found some formative years, found some of the presidential ones, a little bit of everything. Went through all of the ones that could have had a double dye. Didn't find any double dyes on those, but very happy with all the wheat cents that we found and everything else. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Had any questions or comments, feel free to email me or leave a comment down below. If you like what you see, again, please subscribe. We're on our way to 300 friends. So once we hit that, we'll be doing another giveaway. But until then, I'll see you guys in a few days. God bless you all, and we will see you soon. Thank you for checking it out.